exciting stuff. So this next speaker is a dear friend of mine who I've gotten to attend one of her personal Pain to Power retreats. She's an inspiring healer. She's a very powerful speaker. She's spoken for TEDx. She's spoken on stages around the world. She's helped thousands of people break through emotional experiences in their bodies with her her program, the Body Mind Map. So many of you may know Nikki Jade, so please welcome Nikki.
This is amazing. Thank you for everything you're doing. You curated the most amazing people together on the same night. I feel like you guys all know you're here for like the perfect reason because you're in your body now and there's a reason for everything. So who here has experienced pain recently, or you have a loved one that's complained about pain? And yes, okay, most of you. Awesome. Not awesome that you're in pain, but awesome that you're gonna get a lot from this talk. So there's, my intention is for you guys to understand and to have a new relationship with pain. Because it's there for a reason. It's there, your body is there as your best friend to communicate with you. And it's our job to listen to that. And what happens is we don't listen early enough, and it gets louder and louder and louder, and then we get kicked on our ass. So I teach in my Pain to Power program that Betsy mentioned, the 3 levels of communication of pain. So it starts with the feather. And if we don't listen to that, then comes the brick through the window. And if we don't listen to that because we're too busy, then we get the Mack track in our face, and we're kicked on our ass, like in bed, resting, can't do anything. So I want to inspire you guys to listen early. And most of my clients come to me, unfortunately, when they are in the truck phase. They got smacked on their ass, and their liveliness is on the line. So one of my clients, he is a professional athlete. He just won the Super Bowl, and he injured his knee in the game. So he's doing his best to avoid surgery because his liveliness is on the line, literally. So he comes into me. He doesn't know what to expect. He's very open-minded, but is not hopeful that he's going to heal. So he comes in. I said, first question I asked, which I want to ask all of you, is do you believe that you can heal?
Yes.
Awesome! Because that is the requirement. If you say no, then I can't work with you. And no one can heal you, because if you don't believe it, there's no point. So you have to believe. And second, you have to understand this one huge thing, that you are responsible for the pain that was created. Mm-hmm. Now this one is huge, and this is a very conscious room, so there's probably a lot of people that get that. But for anyone that doesn't, a lot of my clients come in with the same question. So maybe some of you have it here. I'm going to address it right off the bat. They say, well, like my athlete came in. He's like, well, I didn't do it. The opponent tackled me and hurt my knee. I'm like, I get it. I totally get it. But if you weren't on that field with the opponent, you would have been out for a jog by yourself, and you would have fell and hit that same knee. Because there's energy there. There's an emotion there that needs to come out. It's causing a block in your life. So I inspired him, and he said yes. So anyway, we went through the body mind map, pulled it out, the emotional thing, which I'll get into, and he was healed. So the message, pain is for you. And I want to let you guys know it's not your fault if you have pushed it aside, because that's how society teaches us. They say, pop a pill, get on back to work, and make more money, because that's what's important. And I have billionaire clients who live on the La Jolla water, and they bought 3 houses because they don't want neighbors, so they have all the money in the world. They've worked their ass off, and they are literally dealing with all of their health issues now. So they have one lesson that they share with me. I wish I'd listened to the early signals of my body in pain. And I'm like, yeah, I know, yes, you're listening now. That's a benefit. So you guys can take this message from all the billionaires out there that are now dealing with the pain, made all the money, now they're suffering. So take that out, and I want you guys to reflect for 1 minute, or 1 second. You get pain. There's 3 options that you do. You either get rid of it, take medication, or get a massage, or go yoga, all these healthy ways, but you still want to get rid of it really fast. That's the one option. Number 2, you numb it. You drink a lot of alcohol, you do drugs, you have a lot of sex, whatever, you don't need to think about it. Number 3, you ignore it. You sleep late and you work really hard. You're just like, I'm not even going there, it doesn't even exist. So think about that, because I want you guys to catch yourself the next time pain comes in, and before you go and be like, oh my God, I need to get a massage, think, oh wait, hold on, back up. What is my body telling me? And I'll rewind for you guys, because 11 years ago, before I had any consciousness, I chose to do all 3. And I was completely, just thought that pain was a part of life. And for me, I was in so much pain, it was more common for me to be in pain than to not be in pain. So I just dealt with it. I had a good life, worked hard, played even harder, traveled to exotic places in the world. And my outlet was dating. And I just ate my way through New York City. I had my Zagat book. They asked me out on a date. I was doing real estate. Like, you get lots of fashion industry and real estate. I met a lot of people. And they're like, you're single? Let's go on a date. I pick out the best restaurant, I eat. And then for some reason, some men in New York City think if they buy you dinner, that's a yes for sex. And once I said no to that, then they were like, oh, so there were no many second dates. And that was perfect for my fear of intimacy, because I didn't really like to go deep with people. And if there was someone I was attracted to, I'd run the other freaking way. And if there was a man that was just like, all right, he's cool for a date. I'm being really open with you guys, so I haven't really told Sam. But I feel inspired by you guys. I said, I'll go on a date with you because I don't want to see you again. But no, that's really fun. We had a really good conversation. It was nice, okay? All right. So anyway, this is going really off track, but I'm going to get back on track right now. So, there was one date that was really memorable. And he was my Prince Charming. And he literally was a Saudi prince. And all of my Disney-created dreams came true. His driver picked me up in his Rolls Royce, opened the door, took me to the swankiest restaurant. It was a year waiting list to get in, but he got us in. And I was visualizing, our kids, and for the first time actually visualized myself being in love with someone. And smack in the middle of dinner, laughing, dining, it all stopped. I was in so much pain in my stomach that I couldn't even fake a smile. I was like, shit, I go to the bathroom, try to keep myself together. I come out there like, I can't leave my prince. Like, this is the one. I had to leave my prince because I seriously had to cry. Cried the whole way home, cried for days, not only because I lost my prince, but because of the pain. Called my mom, who was right over the bridge in New Jersey. My Italian mom made me her classic lasagna. Mom, I'm coming over for dinner tomorrow. I just need some comfort. I go over, she makes me her lasagna. She secretly made me a doctor's appointment for the next morning because she loved feeding me so much because I was 20 pounds lighter than I am now. So it's all connected, right? It's all connected. And she loved feeding me, and she knew that something was wrong because I wasn't feeling well after I ate. So I went to the doctor. They diagnosed me with this intestinal disease. I said, I have forever, and if I wasn't super strict, then I'm going to get cancer. Has anyone heard of celiac disease?
Yeah.
Thank goodness. It's an allergy to what?
Wheat.
Yes, and gluten.
Right.
So I'm like, what the heck is that? I'm Italian and Lebanese. I'm like, what the heck am I supposed to eat? Like lasagna, pasta, pita bread? Like, it's everything I eat. My tita thought I was making this up to stay skinny. I'm like, no, tita. My tita's Lebanese grandma. I said, no, this is what's making me skinny, is eating this shit. So anyway, I went through my process, and dating life went to the garbage because in New York City, no one knew what gluten was over a decade ago. I'm like, do you have a gluten-free menu? Okay, well, I have to be really strict, and you have to cook on a completely different pan than you're cooking everyone else's food on. It just got really annoying and tedious, and I was like, I am not going on dates anymore. The Zagat book collected dust, and I started to eat a lot of salads with no dressing. It was freaking boring. I'd go to the grocery store, and I just got carrots and celery and raw vegetables because there was no freaking ingredients to read. Everything had gluten. I was like, I'm freaking screwed. Like, why me? And what happened during this beautiful process of pain was all of my emotions that I suppressed down so deep started to come up because I used to use food and alcohol. My freaking vodka and club soda had gluten in it. Like, what am I supposed to do now? There's no freaking outlet. I had to deal with the shit that was coming up. Oh, it was so uncomfortable. So I'm dealing with the emotions. They're coming up. I'm like, oh God, I know, so messed up. And all this stuff's coming up. So I did this natural detox. Dealt with all my stuff, and I was praying to God. I'm like, God, listen, yes, I want my food again, but I'm healthy. Like, I'm an athlete. This is not me. I'm not disease-defied. Like, this isn't me. So God is so good. He didn't just, heal me in my sleep, like he probably could, but he taught me how to fish and gave me this amazing mentor who taught me that our emotions live in our body, and each specific spot in the body is holding on to something different. It's the same for everybody. And I was like, okay. So he helped me. One night, I went to see him, and he asked me one question. And I started bawling my eyes out. Had the biggest emotional release in my life. I'm like, how did you do that? It's like I just saw it in your body. I could just look at your body. You could do it too. And I was like, oh my God. So prior to that evening, my menstrual cycle stopped for 9 whole months, because that's normal, right? It's just part of life. No, it's not normal. And it came the next day. So I was like, please teach me everything you know. And I feel so blessed because this man was called in by the CIA, FBI, to solve the challenging cases that they couldn't solve. And he'd be able to just look at them and even get the criminal to admit to the crime. Like, he was a freaking genius. And after 60 years of doing this work, he tested it. He's like, I just know, it's what it is. And he taught me everything he knows. So this is the most exciting thing in my life because I'm obsessed with it. And I've been testing it for the last decade, and it's been accurate every single time. I've trained practitioners how to do this work of releasing what's going on in the body. So here's the thing. Just like Office Depot, it's super organized. You go in, you ask the employee, where's the pen? And they're like, okay, go to aisle 11, row 4, bin 2, it's right there on the left-hand side. The same with the body. If there's something here in the knee, then there's a freaking organized spot for that emotion, for that belief, for that, I call it your BS, the belief system that's keeping you stuck, that's keeping you limited. So here's the best gift about doing healing work, is that all the stuff that was held in here, you have this new space inside of you once it's brought to the surface and you're able to work through and get it out and really heal a lot of what Daniel said was beautiful. You get to come up and out. There's this new space inside of you where you get to connect with your divine spirit, the creator, that has really good intentions for your life. You are not made to suffer. You are not made to struggle. You're meant to live your gift and do it with ease and grace and flow. And when you can make that space, you'll know when to go and when to say no. You'll just know. And that trust inside of you gives you confidence, it gives you clarity, it gives you the courage to go after the dreams that have been divinely placed in your heart uniquely. So that's the best part for me. I remember I was living in New York City, done a bunch of the work, and I was like, I lived on the Hudson River, and the FDR is right there, and there's the traffic, and I always need my window cracked for the air. And there was all this traffic, and I'm like, okay, visualize it as the ocean waves. Okay, it's the ocean waves. I didn't have any knowing that I wanted to go to California or to the ocean, but I did know. And the next day, when you're in flow and you heal all that crap out of your life that's just not real, and it serves its purpose, it's beautiful in the moment, like the celiac disease was perfect, put me on my path. Once you can hear, the next day I got all these signals. Oh my God, are you from California? I'm like, no, I'm like from right over the bridge. Like, it was just random people that were angels for me. And then someone else was like, oh, you've been to La Jolla, right? It's amazing. I'm like, no. And here's the thing, I was praying and I got signals and I packed up my Mini Cooper and drove across country to this place called La Jolla where I started my healing business that was really successful. I helped professional athletes and athletes heal pain to avoid surgery. I helped men and women save their marriages by getting this stuff out. What do I ask my clients? Where's the pain in your body? They're like, what does that have to do with anything? I'm like, we'll get there, it's okay. I've helped teenagers not want to commit suicide and actually fall in love with their life. And it's just been so incredibly fulfilling that I just want you guys to pause for a moment and ask yourself, what inside of you, when pain kicks in, what is the message inside of you that's wanting to be healed? What's that issue? What's that experience that you've associated these meanings and beliefs about yourself? What's wanting to come up and out? Because the truth is that the body never lies. It's almost like a dog when it's happy, you know, like its tail's wagging. It's the same with the body. You can look at how they're walking, how they're standing, what's going on in their body. You can get right into their belief system. I wish I had this when I was dating. Anyway, whole nother story. But I just really want to inspire you guys to stop and listen, because everything you're seeking is already inside of you. So do yourself that favor. You will have like the Amtrak way. You'll have like the train to the fastest way possible. So that is my message to you guys. Listen to the pain. It's a gift. It's there for a reason. Don't push it away. Thank you all. Question, a lot of you might wonder if you were anything like me a decade ago. It's like, whoa, what does this mean? And this, and this, and this. So if any of you guys have consistent pain in your body and you're curious, like, what emotion is going on in me? What belief system is this my body telling me? You can just put your number here. I'll call you. We'll set up a time to have like a deep dive into your personal life. So I'll put it on the back table. Thank you all for being here. And thank you, Nikki. Yay! Oh my God, who wants to ask her a million questions? I know. That's what it's for. Yeah.
All right, let's take 1 minute. Turn to someone and tell them something that you gained from that experience, or maybe even tell someone a pain in your body that you're curious about.